Hello, everyone. It's Richard here. I'm meeting with TikTok. Is it Tik? Is it Pack? What's your username again?
No, pathetic gamer.
Oh, I'm meeting with Pathetic Gamer. Oh, I've
Yeah,
completely misinterpreted your username.
that's okay.
But
It's
he has
because
a.
sometimes people think that I'm bad, so I have an excuse for being bad. I'm pathetic. So,
I'm meeting with the Pathetic Gamer to go over a replay of his Poznan. Uh, is it gonna be very similar to the live play that you did? Because I haven't reviewed
nope.
this. I put it on slow, so let's get it rolling. I'm curious to see. Oh, you've really changed. Okay, so let me pause here. So you changed your artillery purchases.
Yes, I did that. It's simply because Goose told me in the other grand campaign I was playing that the Sturmpanzer only have zero point 0.8 and this have 1.0.
Mm-hmm.
Of
Rate of
the
fire.
round they're shooting. So I can see that it's much better and it's much more cheaper. I have to be better to look into the prestige. And you will also see it in the finish that I changed the way that I try to end it up, but it didn't go as planned. But you will see that later.
So just to be clear to the audience, there's there's basically an uncountable infinite number of ways that you could build your core and execute a tactic on on the whole grand campaign, especially on something like Field Marshal. So you can buy 4 Storm Panzers and totally make it work. I mean, you've shown that. I've never seen anyone do it before, but it's definitely possible. One thing I don't know if you thought about it, but have you ever thought about trains on maps before?
Yeah, I actually did it on this one
Oh,
here because I saw Søren did it, the Danish guy that you recommend me to watch.
and
And
actually this.
Søren he did send some units on top, and well, I learned, so I sent the units myself.
You don't have to. I was mostly going to point out, just to improve your flexible thinking. A lot of players, including myself, were not even aware of this idea that you could ship units around by rail. And the person that came up with that was Ricotta. He was the first person that
Yeah,
he had to find a way to deal. He was doing Manstein, I believe, and he didn't have
yeah,
enough firepower up here. Like a scout is not going to clean this up, so he sent the infantry unit up north. That's how he figured it out, and
yeah.
it blew my mind when I saw that, and it kind of like cracked the map wide open. But I just wanted to point it out, not because you must do that, but it's just to be aware that such a possibility exists can improve your gameplay.
Yeah.
Um, so that's cool that we're going to see that. So the other thing is, so you bought one up here. I actually agreed with your decision to buy 2 artillery pieces up north.
Så må jeg på vej ned. It's my son. He's come in. He's just asking how I'm doing. That's all.
So it's interesting. So you
Yeah.
don't need, you don't strictly need on something like Field Marshal 2 artillery pieces. It's just nice. But if you were playing on Manstein or Ultimate, you should buy a second artillery piece up here. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, this is the standard opening move, but you could have bought Storm
Yeah.
Panzers and it still would have worked. Just to be clear, because
Yeah.
Field Marshal, the stress on you is not the same. I'm not
No,
saying
that's
that
correct.
your original
But it's still
composition,
stressing me.
your
but
original composition was not bad. Like it wasn't like you weren't going to successfully complete the map. So okay, let's get
no.
this rolling.
And you will see up there in the north, when I move the recon, I will put in another artillery.
Oh,
It's simply because if I put in artillery before, they have to make an extra movement to go there, so to
yep.
have one movement less.
Oh, hang on 1 second. This is weird. I want to pause this. Can I ask, so your tank could move up one further, so why didn't you do that?
What the other tank?
This Panzer II? You moved it
Oh, it's
here.
going north.
Oh,
It's
you're
it's
sending...
going north.
I've never seen that before. Whoa,
Well,
that's interesting.
I sent that one, and I sent up an infantry. The infantry just ended up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just under the recon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that. I have never seen anyone do this before. That's interesting. Okay. Yep, yep.
It's
This is all
because I think
standard.
two artillery and infantry and
Yeah.
tank and the
So,
recon, they should be enough up there.
oh yeah, you're gonna crush everything up north. Yep, and the AI is doing its thing. So one thing you'll notice, I don't know if you changed that. Stop. Let me pause. So the first attempt I saw from you, can you pause? Was that you did not seize this for a long
Yeah,
time. And what happened was, or no, you did seize this, and what happened is they went north to counterattack. And
yeah,
like obviously you succeeded with no problem, but just to point out, if you get this, so look at where your armor is. So like all your anti-armor
yeah.
stuff is down here. So when stuff is going north, it's kind of a problem because you're not that strong. But if you take this as soon as possible, then they will migrate to the nearest victory hex. And this is where you have the bulk of your units. That's just something I would point out because I think you
Yes.
had a didn't you have an issue the first one where they were going north?
Well, I have the same problem this time.
Oh, they
It's
do
still
go
going
north.
north.
Because normally when I play it, I don't think I own. I think that hex is still under their control, or maybe I seize this one really quickly. I can't remember. But they go south, which is good, so I can surrender.
Oh, by the way, this little pack there, I'm telling, when I play this game here, I'm telling that you have made that pack 400 and something killing, and I want to do better. So if you follow me, you will see that I really do everything with that pack to reach more than 400 kills.
Yeah, I'm probably the best with the pack because I purposely go out of my way to get it kills. A couple of scenarios where it's really good is Piatic. You
Yes.
can set up a recon anti-tank situation where you seize the hex and you back out with a recon. So then when the next armored unit goes in, it has to attack against your
Yeah.
anti-tank, and you can really rack up some kills. And obviously, you can also rack up some kills on Spoils of War with a little pack gun. You have to be much more careful, though. Yeah, okay, so you took
Yeah.
this. Yeah, turn 2. That's fine. Oh, by the way, I should explain this. If you're wondering what triggers the purchasing of units, it's based on core slots. You can go look in the map editor on the number of core slots available in every scenario. I think on this one it's 7 or 6. 6 core slots. So core slot
Yeah.
is dictated by what kind of border is around the unit. So this is silver, so it's not a core slot. These are auxiliary units.
Yeah.
And I don't, yeah, we can't see any gold. So once you kill enough units so that the number of core slots is less than the maximum, then they buy units.
Okay.
That's just something for you to be aware of if you're finding a map challenging. So here we go. These are all core slots that you can see. And there's a lot of them right now. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there's about 11 of them.
And these planes do so bad down there.
Yeah. Imagine trying to do this on Manstein.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have decided to try to do Rommel, Manstein, or Guderian, some of them, after I finish this campaign here.
You know what? Whoa. I think that's a mistake. Tactical. This is kind of what I wanted to get into, which I think you'd find the most useful. So you suppressed... Okay, stop moving. So you suppressed this anti-tank a lot, and then you hit it again with artillery. I think you should hit it with the scout, shove it in the city, then hit it with artillery again, and then move the infantry up to finish it off in the city.
Okay.
Because what you did is you double hit it.
It,
If this
yes.
was Manstein, I would totally understand, but I don't think you need to do that on Field Marshal. You could hit it once, boot it, and then hit it again to get some suppression, and then you probably avoid damage on the infantry. And on this map, the infantry is a lot more important than the scout.
Yeah.
So if your scout took a point of
Um,
damage, pushing it back, that's okay. But I would prefer to preserve
the
the city.
reason that I use these two artillery first is because if you see the game where I'm talking, I say that I will try to do something with the recon because normally I never play with recon. And this time here, I will try to do something with the recon. So I shot 2 times here to avoid that the recon take hits. And I know that the anti-tank will be weak in the city. Therefore, I wouldn't take damage on the recon, but prefer on the infantry, and that because I'm not sure that I'm going to keep these infantry. I'm probably going to sell them and buy some pioneer.
Well, I mean, having what I okay, that's a whole other topic. Because the regular infantry are excellent for just that mobility. So I like pioneers, but only after they have a movement +1 hero. So what I do
Yeah.
is I get these regular mountain units and I use them a lot to get their first hero, and then if they get movement +1, I upgrade them to pioneers. Oh,
Okay.
1 second. Come in. Oh, pardon me. I have to deal with something real quick.
Yeah,
My,
that's
my
okay.
children, my children woke up. I got to deal with something.
Real life is more important, so take your time.
Woke up unexpectedly early. Okay. So, I was just pointing. I think the reason I was worried about the damage on the infantry is that the infantry is really important up here.
If you say something now, I cannot hear you,
You can't hear me?
but I can see you moving the mouse.
Uh, you can't hear me. Hang on. Let me stop streaming. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Discord is a pain in the ass. Wait, I need to make sure you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Nope.
It says I'm sharing my screen.
Okay. Oh, there. Yeah, I can see you moving around with the mouse.
Can you see the units again?
Yes, I can see them, but it's oh, yeah, now it's big window for me. Yes, I can see everything now.
Pardon for the technical interruption. I got interrupted by my kids, and then Discord malfunctioned. Unfortunately, it can be a common issue with Discord. I just wanted to point out that I usually like to preserve strength on the infantry just because the fighting up here can get nasty. But because this isn't Manstein setting, it's probably going to be fine. And also you have 2 artillery. So either way. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, so
there, I'm trying to set up a trap for him.
I think it's
and
too
hope
early.
that he will go for that truck.
They're too far back.
Yeah, I noticed that, but he still have a horse who took the bait.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. There's a. Oh yeah, that's my trap that I came up with.
Yeah.
And I actually, if you do it, you can set it up where the fighter bomber's in the way, so you can really wreck that plane. Oh yeah, that cavalry's dead.
But this time here, when I play this campaign here, I really try to see if I can give my unit a lot of kills and a lot of prestige. But really, and you will see that in the end, I have to learn how to farm prestige on a single city, because that was the plan, but you will see that it didn't go as planned.
Well, okay, so you probably got that from Goose, and so he's used to, like, severe prestige restrictions and other ridiculousness. If you're playing on Field Marshal, you're gonna have more prestige than God. I mean, you're just gonna get a ton of prestige, so you don't have to prestige farm. You can do it for fun, and it will certainly give you a lot more freedom, or a sense of freedom, because you can really blow past your budget and overstrengthen everything. But yeah, learning how to prestige farm is a gateway to learning how to play on higher difficulties.
So, yes, you're absolutely right on that, and that's why I will try to do it, prestige hunt, because it made me think differently when I play, because I never done that, because I always, when I'm done, I finish off the map.
This is where
and
the problem...
Goose often said to me,
I just realized you could have seized this and set up an ambush. So this hex right now is not important to the AI. It's this one. That's why they're funneling north. I think if you seize this with the tank, this guy would come down and get ambushed. This TKS.
Yeah. Why it's not important in the south for them?
Because they own it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I never thought about that.
But I think if you had the opportunity to seize this with the tank, I think an ambush would have happened here. Now, this gets a little complicated. The nuance of major victory hexes, I have in my document, I think I have a whole section about tactics on major victory hexes, because if there's other units around, and let's say there are entrenchments around the major victory hex, if you manage to kill that unit in the hex, you're going to pull one of the units that's in the entrenchment into the hex. So let's say you've got a unit that's got 9 entrenchment, and then you manage to kill the unit in the hex, they're going to pull out of their entrenchment to go in the hex, because they have to protect the hex. That's just a cool little tactic that can help. But here, I think you would have gotten an ambush from something. All right.
Finally, I got that fighter.
That's not bad. You might pull this infantry out to attack your anti-tank. That could be really good.
That was the point, and I say it when I record it, that I hope he will go for that anti-tank.
Oh,
but you will
okay.
see what happened.
One thing here. This is a mistake. You make this mistake a lot in when you play. This cavalry was easier to kill. You should have hit it with this artillery, sent the infantry up to finish off the cavalry, and then kept the anti-tank surrounded the way you had it, and finished it next
But why do you think I should have done with the kill the infantry instead of the tank? Because I see the tank more dangerous. It can hurt me more than this infantry can hurt me.
It was at 7 strength. Not to mention, if
Yeah.
it comes down to hit you, you have artillery backing up, and this artillery is good against KKS tanks. That would have been great because it would have gone in the woods, and then you could have killed the
that's
Panzer.
right.
I think your infantry would have been fine, but the cavalry is actually more dangerous because it has high soft attack, I believe.
Yeah.
5, and I mean, it's not really dangerous at 5 strength, but you can kill it and deny vision. That's the other reason. I actually find cavalry to be a lot more dangerous than these guys. But the problem is... the real problem is... if you don't kill the cavalry, it's going to resupply. Let's see what happens. Okay, you don't attack it.
No. Because I have the 2 artillery behind, and...
Yeah, he's not.
As you can see there.
Okay, this guy wasn't tempted by the...
No.
On Manstein, he would have...
I'm so disappointed of that. Yeah. But that really disappointed me. I said, why are you not attacking? You were supposed to do it.
Yeah, you have... I can see already that this is going a lot better for you. You have total control.
Yeah. Yes, now.
This is a mistake. This is a mistake, because you had the chance to move here and block.
Yeah, but the reason I didn't do that is because I want him to buy in where you said I should go up and block. Therefore, I'm not going to that city. I was going to
this is okay.
Be a hex around.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine on Field Marshal, but you need to have this blocked by turn 6. Yeah. Or not kill so many core units. This could be a good trap, because he might come up. The problem is, too many of your forces are over here.
Yeah. The problem that I run into over there, where I have my 2 artillery and the little Panzer 1, I'm not strong enough to set up that trap, and that's what I have to learn to be stronger there when I'm thinking of farming XP or prestige. And really, it turns out bad for me down there.
Yeah, so, okay. What normally happens if you're going to farm is that you have successfully blocked everything, and then you back off after you've killed everything so they can buy. And then all of your army is around that hex. So you can suppress at will.
Yes, and that was my intention, but really it goes so bad. And I have learned from that bad play that next time I have to have much more units over there.
Mm-hmm. So don't feel bad about it, because Soren's the one that perfected this, and he's got really great instincts on how to do it, and he's practiced it more deliberately. And it's really only for situations where you really need a lot of prestige. So it's for Rommel type settings, or
Yeah.
Guderian maybe.
But I think that Field Marshal is good to practice or try to learn how to do it, because somehow you have the time for it.
Yeah,
Because
I
I know
mean,
when you go one step up.
I find it funny that people act like, Field Marshal's this unbearably difficult mode.
No, it's not.
Like, if you go read the forums sometimes, they act like Field Marshal's insane. And Field Marshal by itself is reasonable if you're an experienced player.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a mess. You don't have enough over here.
And believe me, it's getting more mess down there. I have been thinking about that situation, because next time I will try to do it. Again, I have to have more units before I start doing it. That means I have to block the other city.
Yep.
And try to have only that city left, because I'm all over the map right now, and yeah, everything turns out
So let me
bad
pause
for
this
me.
real quick. It doesn't look so bad right now. So one thing to be aware of that's a rule change in the latest edition. Please pause. Is that... Okay, please pause. I hate their replay. I want to pause, please. Okay, so these fortification hexes, they can't buy units.
No.
So that's a rule change. Like the original Panzer Corps, they could. If you watch Deductor play this map, it was hilarious because he didn't like block it, and he saw units get purchased down here.
Okay.
And they can't buy units at airfields, so this could wait, if that makes sense. Like, you could have sent your mountain unit up, and then bombed this with a plane, taken it out, sent it over here, took out the anti-aircraft. It's very weak. It would not be a big deal for it to take it out with no artillery support. And then you'd have, like, everything else over here to the east.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. That was a mistake, because I had to have much more over there. And yes, the mountain units could have done it easily down there at the airfield.
I mean, it's not Manstein, so like it's not totally crazy.
No, but really, that mistake I made down there, where I tried to let him buy in, and the XP hunt, prestige hunt. I really learned from this time here, this Poznan mission. I have really been thinking of. That was very bad attempt, but I learned from it, believe me.
So, I mean, you don't see it, but I fail a lot on maps. So, because,
Oh.
Bricada's the only person I know that, and maybe Deductor, that can approach a map blind and play it very successfully. He's the reason I know as much about Panzer Corps as I do, because he does blind live plays on...
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
Yeah. I always make mistake when I play blind.
Well, yeah.
I have been thinking that I have been playing 42-43 on the west side, and then I stopped playing because I didn't feel it was the same, because for me, Panzer Corps is German versus Russia. And I'm trying to think about, maybe I should go the west way.
You could do what Goose is doing and what Night Phoenix was doing. You can do it by timeline, because you know the start date for the scenarios. So it would start with Vitebsk, and then it would go to west up to right before Syracuse, and then you would do Kharkov through Kursk, and then you would go back to west, which is Syracuse.
Yeah.
Then it would be historical.
Yeah. I never thought about that, but That could be funny to look at the date.
So the
I
reason,
never thought
if you
about
look at
that.
Goose, like Goose did a bunch of 42 West, but he stopped because he got to Syracuse, and now there's a bunch of scenarios in the East he has to do.
Okay.
But you don't have to do
But you
that.
can see here,
I mean, you're
if you
getting
see
some
that,
prestige. This is good.
yeah. And I have to go in now and say no more buying in, because see, I have 2 turns left.
Oh,
And
yeah. But the good news is you could suppress the artillery. Also, you're distracting. They're gonna go after your tank there.
yeah, and that on purpose. I put the tank there as bait, because I don't want him to go down and attack my infantry.
Yeah, you definitely have a
And the
problem.
tank, it's not. What?
You have a problem that your units aren't positioned right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely not in position.
But you have a 5 strength unit. I mean, yeah, your scout's gonna help a lot here.
Yeah, because that artillery was so annoying.
Yep.
So I had to say, okay, how do I get to that artillery? And I thought, okay, I take the recon that way.
This honestly looks like it's going better than your first attempt, if you ask me. It looks. I mean, it looks
yes.
like it's not that bad.
I still think that, you see, everyone is coming one turn before the time. It has been better if it's now have been turn 10 or 11.
Correct.
Because I have much more time.
So
I couldn't use my plane because he have all this anti-air. So I was start worrying and think, oh, this is not going well.
Well, typically this Panzer II is what's blocking up here, because they rail it up to this city. But you picked a different path. I haven't seen that before, but it worked. I mean, you look fine because this artillery is about to die.
Yeah.
And that anti-tank is going to go after the auxiliary tank.
Nope, because it's going to die. I will have it surrender.
Oh. Yeah, because you have a 1 strength infantry unit there. Nice. This is good. This is a massive improvement. You've gotten a lot better. You're looking at surrenders. I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that idea.
But that one of the things that I try to improve, that's how to surrender units. Because in one of your comment, you told me that I miss a major opportunity to have a really softy surrendering. And I couldn't see it, so I have, okay, how do I make units to surrender? Because if I'm going from, let's say, field marshals, one level up, and the prestige is very important there, then I have to think how to get units to surrender, because it's extra prestige.
Oh yeah, I mean you can get a lot of prestige on a map like Kharkov, with farming, from surrenders.
Yeah.
But this is a major improvement. Look at your damage. This doesn't matter on artillery. 1 like minor damage on your infantry. 1 damage on scout. That's really good. Your planes are fine. This is really good. And it probably would have gone better with slightly better planning too. But this is not that bad.
Yeah.
At all. Like, your artillery is going to be fine.
Yeah, I really try to build up the artillery, and I also said in the start of this game here that I will try to let them have the first hero, or it's hero, and if it's a crappy hero, I will upgrade it to another unit who can benefit from it. Otherwise, I'm going to sell it. So here in 39, I'm just going to fill them up for free, reinforcement, that's what it means, reinforce for free. And no matter about the prestige, it's about the killing, so I can have the first hero That's what I have in mind.
Yep. The heroes
And
matter a
then
lot.
around the middle of 40, it's depending on the units, of course. Then I will try to build up the experience on them.
Yeah. So you should be pretty pleased if you compare this outcome to your first attempt. It's funny because, like, if I play on ultimate mode, I will have way less prestige than this.
Okay.
So, like, just keep in mind you have a lot of prestige on field marshal. So if you don't get the perfect surrender, don't do something crazy reckless for a little bit of extra prestige, because, like, field marshal, you'll have plenty of it. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have plenty. So, but it's good practice to at least look for those opportunities.
Yes. I have a question. I think it was on Sedan. You made a comment that you only have one fighter.
Yeah.
You never see that before.
For
Is
that
that
map,
correct? It
yeah.
was on Sedan. Yeah. I was not shocked, but I was wondering why you think you never seen that before, because you get another fighter and he doesn't have many planes there. So I was thinking one fighter and then the Messerschmitt 110, the tactical bomb. I think
There's
that's what it is.
part of it is you want to be able to kill planes. So one of Soren's philosophies is you want to kill units, especially air units. You want to minimize their flying back to airfields and getting restocked. It is really difficult to kill one plane with one fighter. And Helmet Lent
Yeah.
is good against bombers and weakened fighters, but they often are sending planes out in pairs. So if you bring a second fighter, you can trap the other plane. So if you
Yes.
look at Albert Canal, The Hague, I haven't watched your Sedan yet, but you were having a lot of issues with the air, I would argue,
Yes.
because you brought one fighter.
Yes, that's right.
Imagine if you brought two fighters.
Yes. But the reason why I only bring one fighter is because I have a lot of anti-air. But on Albert Channel, I had the problem because my unit was all over the map, and let's call it, I was not organized.
Correct. I mean, it's really hard to be organized on that map.
Yes.
But if you just bring
and that's something again that I try to work on, to be more organized, to say the artillery must defend the unit and do not, go left and right and be more organized. That's
one of the questions I was going to ask is, I noticed when I was watching you play, it feels like there's a lot of spontaneous decision making.
Yes, that's actually correct.
And
correct.
That's really dangerous in this game.
Oh yes, yes, I know that. I feel it on my blood pressure sometimes.
Like, if you ever watch Ricotta play when he's doing his live plays, he is super slow. Like, some people might even complain, "Oh my god, he's too methodological. He's too big-brained about everything." But what I have discovered is, if I slow things down and I really try to process what I'm seeing, it helps figure out what to do. It's really easy to get tempted by a target and not understand that by going for that target, you're missing the bigger strategic objectives.
And that's exactly what my problem is. As I noticed, said a little earlier here, field marshal is not that hard, and therefore when I play, I think, oh, it's just you just go over there and you just do that, and I move fast, and then sometimes I move stupid, and I was thinking, why did I do that? And you are actually correct. You call it a panic move. I just call it not very well organized move.
So just one trick
and that's something I really have to look into.
One thing that might just help is, like, just take a deep breath before you go do your panic move and ask yourself, is this something I need to do? because sometimes it is. Sometimes you need to block a hex. Sometimes you really need to kill something, and you're gonna have to take risks. But a lot of times, in your case, you don't plan how to kill off a unit properly. Where your trouble comes in is you just attack a unit in some arbitrary order, and then the unit survives. And then you panic about it because you can't have this unit survive, and then you start sending your units out of their protective zone. It would help if you just thought, okay, what unit should I attack with first? This will start to come up with fortification hexes, hills, forest, how to use weaker units to get kills, and you're balancing that with you actually have to kill the unit. Sometimes you need to use a tactical bomber first to soften it up.
Yes.
Because that's the biggest area of improvement, is making sure you actually kill units. Because if you actually kill the units, your mistakes will decline a lot. Like, I think about 80% of your mistakes would just disappear if you coordinated how to kill a unit accurately. It's such a simple thing. I mean, it's...
Yes, it's very simple, but my problem is, let's say that I've been played this Poznan mission here, and the first 7 or 8 turn, I do everything correct because I am thinking, I'm planning, and then suddenly I start thinking, oh, it's so easy because everything just goes as planned, and then I stop thinking how to do it, and then I just start to move because it's so easy. And that's the danger with my way of playing, because I cannot keep the concentration because now it's very good, and I can kill everyone, and it goes so fast suddenly. And when it goes wrong, I said, why didn't you take it slow? Why didn't you stop up and think? In one of the game I have recorded, I really did the plan. I have to kill that. I cannot remember if a horse or something. And I know that when I attack, he will retreat. And then the entrance there was 2. And I was thinking, Christ. Next time, look at the entrance before you start bombing, and don't think that you think what it is. So that's my problem. I have to take the deep breath, as you were saying, and okay, let's think it over one more time. And that will save me for a lot of problem.
Don't feel bad about poor entrenchment understanding. The best players in the world are making mistakes with this, including Soren and Bricata. Entrenchment is really an extremely advanced tactical thing. It wasn't until I was messing around with ultimate mode that I realized that there's a lot of nuance to how to deal with entrenchment. Like, one of the rules that I don't think people really got this, and I haven't explicitly talked about it, is that you shouldn't hit an entrenched unit in a fortification hex with artillery when it's at 3 entrenchment. Like, if you're not going to kill that unit, don't even bother de-entrenching it further. And if you watch people like Soren and Goose play, they will continue de-entrenching it, but it turns out it's a mistake. It's not an efficient use of artillery. But entrenchment is extremely complex. Like, even the world's best players are making mistakes about it. It's really a mathematical game. Maybe I can see it more because I have a math background. And I'm starting to realize that it's a mistake to attack something that's just going to hit its max entrenchment the next turn. So, if something's at 4 entrenchment in an entrenchment, then you can hit it, so that way it doesn't go up to 5. But you shouldn't hit it again because it doesn't help you, because it's going to go up to 4. And cities are like that. Once you get the city hex down to 2, unless you plan on killing the unit that turn, stop de-entrenching it. Like, that's an extremely advanced tactical concept that nobody talks about. Or if you're talking about a forest, the default entrenchment is 2.
Yeah.
And once you get it down to 1, unless you're planning on killing it, stop de-entrenching it.
Okay. It's because I do that. If you see on this here, I was flying with the plane and keep holding them down so they're not getting more and more entrenchments, because I saw that I was a little lack of turn to finish down there. So I said to myself, okay, the plane must try to de-entrench them somehow.
So let's say you have
But
a bunch of that's
I
no,
understand what you should say. Do not de-entrench them unless
you plan
yeah,
on
you have
killing
to
them.
kill them.
Now, when you're talking
Yeah.
about cities, often these are at 8 or 9 entrenchment. It's pretty crazy.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, one of the tactics on more advanced modes is you send out your planes to de-entrench ahead of time, and it will take forever to get the entrenchment down to 2, and so it's not
Yeah.
really such a big deal. Also, if you only have like one target, then you can, or a couple targets, then you can just do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But imagine Warsaw, where all of
Oh
these
yeah.
units are entrenched.
Yeah.
We waste artillery shots. It doesn't seem like we're wasting artillery shots, but let's say you have a limited amount of time and you really got to kill all these units. You only have so many artillery shots, so you have to be very careful about the distribution. This is something that I think I'm the first person to figure out. Like, if you see my ultimate mode Warsaw, it's crazy what I accomplished on that map because I figured out how to distribute artillery shots. Um,
Okay.
but that's
I
not something
might
you're doing.
going to have a look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers. My latest Warsaw, I couldn't believe what I was doing. Um, but it's just because there's a relationship between how many artillery shots you have and the entrenchment levels, and you got to distribute properly. But yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
So maybe next week we can do Danzig
Yeah. We could do that.
if you're interested, because I think there's people out
Yeah.
there that play like you that would love to have this kind of commentary, and you're also sharing your thoughts, which can be difficult. A lot of Panzer Corps players struggle with this. I don't know if it's because they're uncomfortable with public speaking or they're just uncomfortable sharing their thoughts, but it can be really difficult to figure out why people are doing things. But you seem fine letting me know in detail
Yes.
why
And
you did this. That's
well, there's only one reason that I share this with you. It's because if I'm not going to tell you what I'm thinking, how are you going to give me good advice or say, oh, that was good, oh, that was bad, or try to think? Therefore, I have to tell you about my thoughts. And at the end, I hope when I tell you about my thoughts, it's making me better. And
it's actually a
that's the
learning.
point for me, to be honest. I talk to you now because I want to be better to this game here. And a good advice is not bad to have.
I think a lot of Panzer Corps players are shy as well, so you know, you might help people
Yeah.
come out of their shell. I mean, look at how much better you've
Yeah.
done. I think that what you did here is like 6 times better than the first one that you showed me.
Yeah, that's also what I sit with that feeling, except that it was a little late down here, but it's ended up well. And that made me think, okay, I can do like this and this and this, and then it will be better. And yeah, and
It's
overall, I did better here. I feel that.
and it's better to make mistakes at Poznan than later.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All right, I'll let you go and
Yes.
end the stream. Until next time, everyone. Richard out.